Hello and thanks a lot for hitting on the playlist. In this playlist we're going to walk you through all the basics you need to get up and running with Sorare as quick as possible and start getting stuck into the first ever truly global fantasy football platform. All the links are in the description down below so you can get set up with all the free stuff you need to give yourself as much of a head start as possible. As you'll notice with the rest of the playlist, it's just broken into little kind of FAQ question and answer. So all the videos are nice little bite-sized chunks for you to get yourself up and running as quickly as possible. In this video we're going to lay out the groundwork. What is Sorare? Why should you be involved in this? And why am I having so much fun with it? If you are new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you do subscribe, like, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble and let's get stuck into it. So fantasy football gone global, what do I mean by that? So basically this is available to anyone around the world. Basically they can enter this. There's no territories, there's no border restrictions or anything like that, and it covers absolutely every single division that Opta covers to a certain, you know, detail kind of threshold. You know, as long as they cover it to a decent level in terms of the stats they capture and the frequency that they capture it in, then those games are eligible for your cards to be scored in for the fantasy football tournaments that Sorare run every game week, which is probably about twice a calendar week on average, and all those competitions are free to enter as long as you've got the cards to do so. Now, just like every fantasy football platform out there, what you're looking for is competitions you can win, you can actually reap the rewards from, whether that be just be bragging rights or whether it be actual rewards, whether it be cards, money. All these things are on offer on Sorare. What you also have the ability to do is show that, you know, if you're one of these people that loves to track fixtures and wait for that change in form, or that new manager's just come in, that new player starting to, you know, get himself up and running with that team, he's starting to bed in. If you love spotting this kind of stuff, then again, these things will pay dividends for you. What this game is also great for rewarding is those kind of football manager, you know, kind of things, those wonder kids that you pick up and you think, you know what, that guy's not playing the now, but when he does get in the team or when he gets in his next big transfer, he's really going to go on and have an amazing career. You can pick those cards up early, nice and cheap, hold them and wait for them to actually break into a team, and you can use them in fantasy football tournaments from there, and it rewards your knowledge for getting on those players early. If you are one of these big stat guys, you love, you know, finding out who's the next big thing and, you know, who's the next manager that's really going to come on the scene, what team is he just joined, then again there's a lot of payoffs, there's a lot of satisfaction in, you know, actually tracking these things, predicting them and seeing it come to fruition for you in your gallery and in your competitions on Sorare. Now, I'd recommend pretty much any football fan get involved in this, to be honest with you, but what I find, a lot of people that really take to this really well are part of what I call Generation Football, right? Now, let me explain to you what that is. You'll be similar to me probably in a lot of respects, but you grew up watching, you know, Football Italia on Channel 4, you watch Match of the Day every weekend, you go to games, you know, when you could, for the team you support, you grew up playing, you know, LMA Manager, Premier Manager on the PlayStation, you moved on to Championship Manager, then you moved on to Football Manager, all these types of games, FIFA, Pro Ev, all this kind of stuff. And over the last kind of, the reason I call it Generation Football is over the last kind of 10-15 years especially, football has really evolved in a lot of ways. We all consume so much more data, we want to know so much more about statistics, key passes, contests won and lost, successful pass completion rates, all this kind of stuff. If you're into that kind of stuff in any way, shape and form, you might just compete on a free-to-play fantasy football setup like FPL or something. You might compete on something that's more premium like a Footstock or a Football Index or a Sportsnet. You could do any of these things. If you are that way inclined, if you do enjoy fantasy football, if you do enjoy scouting players, you do enjoy scouting fixtures and form, then this is the ultimate fantasy football platform to be involved in, bar none. So what Sorare do is they license clubs, you know, so, you know, they license the MLS, they license the J League, or the Jupiter League in Belgium as a full division. But the bigger clubs like PSG, Bayern, Juventus, Napoli, all these clubs get licensed in one-off arrangements. Okay, when those clubs get licensed, each player from the squad each season will get 100 rares, which is these red cards. They'll get 1 unique, which is the black one there, and they'll get 10 super rares, which is the blue cards. Okay, they'll get that every season. Now, each one of those cards has different potential and capabilities for the fantasy football tournaments. We'll come to that later on in the playlist. Each one of those cards is a collectible, so it offers you a lot of that nostalgia feeling from your sticker books, from your Tops Trumps cards collections or anything like that, where you could buy the card, you own it, it's a collectible, and it will have a future value for that collector's market. Each of those cards, just like an RPG, MMO, just like a game, the longer you have these cards and the more you deploy them, they will grow in XP, they will grow in power, so they become much more valuable for fantasy football tournaments on Sorare. Never mind any other tertiary games that might come out as a result of this. The cards, you own them, you have the ability to take them out of the platform and put them into other places as and when those facilities do become available. But it rewards you for, like I say, picking those cards up early. You know, somebody like an Ika Ugbo who's on loan from Chelsea in Belgium, you believe that guy might go on and have a good career, you buy him early, you get him nice and cheap, you rank him up, and you follow that guy through his career, and then that foresight that you've had, as I said earlier on in the video, it pays dividends, it reaps rewards for you. Now, first and foremost, Sorare, in my opinion, must be seen as a fantasy football game. They've partnered with Ubisoft for all their technology, all their background stuff. Ubisoft see this, as you'll see in this press release, as the future of gaming, blockchain gaming, you know, so Sorare is really the pioneer in moving that forward with a fantasy football platform. And they have also developed, in my opinion, the most complete and fair scoring matrix I've ever came across on any kind of platform. It makes sure every player in every position has a value, has a worth, so there's no more kind of dead cards, there's no more dead positions, you know, like your defensive midfielders or your centre backs that don't really get involved in goal contributions, that kind of thing. Every player can contribute massively to your success on this platform because of the matrix that they've built, the scoring mechanisms around. And one of the best things about it is we're only getting started, guys. We're still very much in the beta phase for the company. There's lots of new iterations and changes that come as a result of the community feedback. They're very good for taking that on board and implementing them, which is a big part of the reason why it's such a complete platform for where it's at the moment. All the advertising that gets done now is just when these new clubs get listed, you know, so Bayern Munich come on board, they tweet out to their millions of followers, we've joined Sorare. Same with PSG, Juventus, all these other clubs. They've not went and kicked on to actual mainstream advertising, so we're still very much in the ground level, you know, so it's a great opportunity for you to get on to a growing platform that really is the future of fantasy football in a lot of different ways, guys. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the playlist. Make sure you get those links down below. It really goes a long way to supporting the channel and gets you a head start to make sure you're ahead of the crowd. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. I look forward to seeing you on the leaderboards, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.